Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Color X Malice Unlimited, and we are in Shiraishi's route. Yay! And we're now in Shiraishi's perspective. That's where we ended the last part. So, anyway, here we go. Number 14. Yes, sir. Wait, was Shiraishi... I don't know if he's supposed to be a child now or an adult. Well, we'll just read it in his normal voice, I guess. Oh, no, he's a kid. Oh my god, so cute. Oh my god. But that's supposed to be Ray as a child. He's like a baby. But he's like still calling to... I thought he was just calling to him in a normal... Like he was an adult. And I was like, how old is he supposed to be? Nope. Anyway. I'm sorry, I can't help it. Look at baby Shiraishi. He's so sweet. He looks like a girl. He's like a little precious. You're like, little precious girl. Oh no. I love him. Anyway. I turned as the dignified voice called my name. And normally I would never be allowed to speak to someone of Mikuni's station. When it had been again... He had been visiting this training facility to observe us, and had asked who among us was the most talented. And the instructor had pointed me out, and Mikuni had spoken to me in much the same way when I was first presented before him. He told me about the world outside this sandbox. And the stories he told were fascinating, yet difficult to believe. Sensing my skepticism, he'd allowed me to ask him questions. To me, he was someone who answered my questions. I had never had someone like that in my life before. I heard you scored excellent marks in your practical skills exam again. My life belongs to the organization. If I can't act when I'm called upon to do so, then I am without value. That's correct. You are the gold standard among our organization's puppets. Thank you, sir. I'm honored to hear that. Trying to make them sort of sound like themselves, but young. It's not working. Whatever. Anyway. Is there anything you wish for? Wish? It can be anything. An object you desire or something you want to do. Have you ever felt a sense of longing? I have no need for such emotions. Indeed. However, once this country is reborn, we'll know true peace. I'd like even dolls such as yourselves to have a wish to be fulfilled at that time. Aw. How noble of you. Why? Call it my own ego. In the future I believe in, you'll be allowed to have such desires. I mean, that's nice. You're treating people like people. Instead of... well, you're not people, you're dolls, but I want to treat my dolls like people. But they're actually people, so I mean... Allowed? We are tools whose purpose is to carry out your wishes. There's nothing else I could ask for. That isn't true. No, never mind. Push my idle fantasies from your mind. Why? Oh, well, I should read that in normal Shiraishi's voice, not kid Shiraishi. Well, it doesn't matter, I guess. Why is he making that face? Did I give the wrong answer? I don't understand. How foolish of me to assume that you're a human like me just because we can exchange words. Aww. Just want to hold poor baby Shiraishi. Poor thing, don't be mean to him. I allowed myself such petty delusions. They're unbefitting of a leader of apostles such as myself. Human. Back then it had been difficult for me to give form to my thoughts. If I'm allowed to wish for something, it was an unnecessary distraction. Orders were everything. All else was... I'd like to become someone irreplaceable. His eyes widened at my response. I'm losing the voice of the kid ones, but it doesn't matter. Number 14. I'm terribly sorry, sir. Please forgive the lapse. I'll accept any punishment. What had I been saying? Even I wasn't sure. I didn't hear anything. Do you understand? I heard nothing. That obviously wasn't true, but he said nothing further. I was confused as to why he decided to pretend I hadn't said anything. Someday, when I'd gained more knowledge, when I come to understand this moment, I found myself wanting to know what this man was grappling with. Perhaps if I knew, then you and I would... This whole entire thing is gonna be like Shiraishi in fucking jail, isn't it? And I'm gonna cry. Oh, a dream. Apparently I dozed off while reading a book. Someone irreplaceable, huh? It was quite ambitious, even for me. However, Mikune had been partly responsible for the outburst. He had treated me as a human being when I was intended to be an expendable tool of the organization. It should have been forbidden. Maybe I had that dream because this place reminds me of the training facility. The room was simply furnished with stark white walls. It contained nothing but the bare necessities for its occupant. In December of last year, I had confessed everything I knew about Adonis to the police. In addition, Adonis had lost both its leader, Zero, and its operational commander, Mikuni, and the organization had crumbled. And then the government had used the intelligence I provided to hunt down the rest of the leaders and operatives. My prosecutor had noted my talents as a profiler and my value as an Adonis informant, so I'd been housed in the Special Protections Office. Prosecution! Oh. Oh, okay. Just because Special Protections Office, was that red? I was like, we had 2 prosecutions? When did we have another? Anyway. Look, this has only happened like once before in this whole thing. I forgot how it worked. Prosecution! In this instance, the public prosecutor. They are tasked with interrogating suspects arrested by the police and other witnesses, examining the evidence, and ultimately determining whether the department presses charges or not. In a public trial, the public prosecutor must also manage the execution of the trial as well. Special Protection Office. This facility, under the guise of protection... Under the guise of protection? That sounds like you're not trying to protect my baby. Places Kageyuki Shiraishi, a member of Adonis, under surveillance. Due to his upbringing, mental evaluation, the lack of evidence, and the fact that he turned himself in, he was not publicly prosecuted. However, in light of the continued threat of Adonis, he is detained due to the optics of the situation. Yeah, see, Special Protections wasn't in bold. They don't quite bold them all, but they've missed a few. They're even refusing to indict me. Apparently, the official reason is a lack of evidence. I'd heard that the only public note of my detention was that an important person of interest had been secured. After all, if word got out someone was being held for an extended period of time without charges, someone was bound to gripe about prisoner rights. I suppose it's not unlike a plea bargain. It's how I've managed to avoid prison, so far. I was still regularly being interrogated whenever something new happened. I was advising the police with what I knew about Adonis's operations. He's not in jail, but he's kind of in jail. It's not jail. It's non-jail jail, but it's fucking jail. The police must not want it known that they have me. Their informant was an Adonis operative, one who had been undercover in the police for many years. Now that public trust in the police had been restored after the fall of Adonis, it'd all go to waste if my existence was revealed. I mean, right? It's just like the police to try and cover it up. Of course, I was in no position to criticize them. All I could do for now was cooperate. Besides, in the September and October X-Day incidents, I'd worked with police to save people. And that attack had been committed by the 18-year-old Uno twins. Uno siblings, Shion and his younger sister Suzune, I'm sorry I'm not reading this in tour guide Spacey, were arrested as the perpetrators of the September and October incidents. They were arrested for the murder of Ken Hachisuka and Yuki Tsunemori. Because they suddenly experienced amnesia, their criminal liability was initially doubted. After a trial in family court, they were sentenced to juvenile detention. Look, I don't feel as bad for them. I feel bad for Akito. Akito grew close to us and we love him. Saving a life. It would have been unthinkable in the past. But I had changed. Or rather, I had been changed. I had spent 10 years in deep cover outside of the organization. I had witnessed the world as it changed. At first, I had simply thought Yanagi to be an unusually tolerant person who was willing to put up with me. I I was curious what I could get away with, and had sometimes played pranks on him, like bringing lots of cat shit into his apartment, but he seemed to like it, which was weird. Ad-libbed a little, but, going back to Unagi's route. When I did, he'd been upset, of course. I had gotten away with nothing but a lecture. However, he had still engaged me as he always did, and he even cooked me delicious meals. Adamoto was amusing to tease. He was always loud and energetic, but had a delicate side as well. Though he struck me as someone who would forgive most slights as soon as he took a nap. Sasuzuka was perceptive, though one might misjudge him by his appearance. At first glance he appeared cold and ruthless, but was ultimately a moralist. Well, probably as long as one didn't strike the wrong nerve with him. Okazaki was elusive. He'd often appear in the office without any warning, often coming in through the window, which is what makes him so crazy and why we kind of enjoy the crazy pants. While his gentle demeanor was alluring, I always had to be on my guard around him. Mukai was the person I'd spent the most time around aside from Unagi. Oh, I'm sorry. Look, I love Shiraishi and he's all mine, but in an alternate reality where we're in love with someone else, Shiraishi's still my favorite. Shiraishi and Mukai would have been fucking amazing together because she hates him so much, I seriously think she's slightly in love with him. Although I was her superior, she was often rebellious and had even formed a Shiraishi bashing coalition. I recalled her even assaulting me with jump kicks and karate chops, although I had evaded them all. It was rather refreshing to have an acquaintance who despised me so thoroughly. I love the fact that that's why their relationship would be amazing. She's like, I hate you, and he's like, this is great, I love it. I want to watch the Shiraishi and Mukai anime, okay? I just want to see the two of them, like, fighting constantly, and, like, I just want that. They should have a side story where it's just them fighting with each other. I just want to see that. Oh, God, I'd probably die. I don't think I could read it. And there was Spacey. She had given me so much warmth. Me who knew little of normal life. She was a busybody who fussed over people, and I'd been influenced by her. And I had been I read that way too fast. It was weird, but anyway. I hadn't been ordered to. I had simply wanted to be closer to her. I loved those gentle moments that Spacey and I passed together. I wanted to be someone like her. I wanted to stand by her side as a human. Eventually, those desires had grown into an earnest wish. He wants to be irreplaceable. And were you thinking the same thing I was when he said that? You're irreplaceable to us, Shiraishi. However, our time together had not been altogether kind. And not since she collapsed that day. I had spent a year by her side after she lost her memories. And those days had been hellishly painful, but they too had brought me joy. So adorable. Okay, Shiraishi's the only one that took care of us for a year. Alright? None of you bitches hold a candle to this man. I don't care if he was evil. He was good because of us. That's why we were given him as a pet in the bad ending. I think I feel better today. You do? Good. But you be sure to let me know right away if anything feels off, alright? Okay. It had been several months since she regained consciousness. After gradual physical therapy, she was now capable of light exercise for a short time, and was steadily recovering. Thank you for the flowers, Doctor. They make me feel better. I'll bring more if you like. And this room is so bare. It's almost sadder for him because we don't remember him. We're like, oh, he's just here helping me get better. Not, he's my lover, like we were in love with each other, like, and he's just here like, yep, I'm not your boyfriend or anything. Oh, poor baby. This route's gonna kill me because it's not gonna give me what I want from Shiraishi. It's gonna be sad and fucking bittersweet, isn't it? Her eyes seemed to soften as she looked at the bouquet of flowers I had brought. She was so pure. It was as if I was looking at myself back when I had been in the training center. My emotions had been faint, and I had desired nothing. I'd known little of the suffering of real life. In a way, it had been the happiest time of my life. But she's not the type of person who would turn away from her problems. Once her memories returned, she was sure to suffer once again. She'd remember that I was part of Adonis, and that I was a criminal that she shouldn't sympathize with. Oh, that's not true. We love you. She'd remember that she had killed Zero, whom she had known as her good friend, Yuzuru Saeki. How can I make her happy? I didn't have any right to be with her, and that was all I could think of. The desire to restore her to her normal self, and the desire to stay with her while she was ignorant of the world, battled for dominance within me. I'm a selfish coward, and the absolute worst. Doctor, what's wrong? A kind voice brought me back to reality from the abyss of my thoughts. Oh, sorry. I was thinking about going shopping today. Is there anything you want? Nothing, huh? She wished for nothing and desired nothing. I just can't let her stay this way. What about you, Doctor? Huh? Tell me what you'd like. Why? I just want to know. What I'd like is... you. Of course I couldn't say that. There was no way I could. It just wasn't allowed. This is gonna hurt. This route's gonna fucking hurt. If we don't get to be with him, goddammit. If we're doing this whole back and forth thing, the whole thing. I mean, in most of our other routes with all our boyfriendos, it's like us and then them, and we're talking to each other and we don't get to go on date. You know what I mean? It's kind of like we're apart and, oh, we don't get a lot of time to spend together because we're both busy. Which I feel like maybe was like the sort of balance out the fact that we don't get to be with Shiraishi at all. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know how his route's going to go. But like, I'm just worried and it's just going to make me cry. Okay? Like, you can't do this to me. Damn it. Anyway, and cats, I suppose. Alive cats are the best, but trinkets with cat motifs are nice too. Cats. I see. She murmured in reply and fell silent for a moment. And then she asked me to buy her something. The next day she spread the materials on her bed and seemed hard at work putting them together. It had only been a few months since she woke up. It must not have been easy for her to be so active. I wonder what she's doing. She had asked me to buy her an assortment of materials, including crocheting needles, knitting wool, and beads. It appeared that she was going to knit something, but I couldn't tell what it was from its shape. She's knitting you a cat. Oh, God. Like, we don't remember shit, but we remember how to fucking, like, knit or crochet? Damn, girl. She's like, figure it out. Don't push yourself too hard. And make sure to rest if you feel tired. But I'm almost finished. It looks like you're making something. Do you remember how to knit? Yes, somehow. It's strange. Can't remember anything else. Memory defects are common, but we tend to recall motor skills and muscle memory before knowledge or data. I see. Her reply was brief as she focused on her... Oh, my God, I was reading that in my voice. I just completely forgot. Her reply was brief as she focused on her work. I reflected as I kept watch over her. I wouldn't push her to remember anything immediately, but it was a good sign that she had recalled some of her skills. I swear to you, we'll get your memories back. Even if it meant saying goodbye in the end. It's done! Here, Doctor, this is for you. She handed me something, beaming more than usual. Oh my God, that's so fucking cute, I'm gonna die! Oh my God, we remember shit, but we made him a cat, and look how fucking cute that thing is. That is the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen. Oh God, I'm gonna lose it. It was a small knitted cat doll. It's so cute! I want one! Since it was made from knitting wool, it was slightly different than a typical plush doll. A cat. Because I said that I like cats. I don't think I did a great job, but I'll keep practicing. Why are you always giving me so many things? I wanted to give something back to you. I wanted to return the kindness you'd given me. No, even more than that. I wanted to serve you, and yet... Don't you like it? No, it's so adorable. I'm very happy. You surprised me. Thank you. You've made me very happy. I'm glad. You have dexterous fingers. You used to be good at cooking, too. Maybe you have a gift for fine tasks. I used to cook? Yeah. I personally tasted your cooking, and it's incredible. Handmade lunches, fluffy omelets, juicy omelet rice. And the thought alone was enough to make my heart feel full. You actually influenced me so much that I tried my hand at cooking too, but it was a massive failure. I couldn't even make one satisfactory omelet. But you still said it tasted... The rest of my words caught in my throat. I've been trying not to talk about her memories with me, but I failed. I was her assigned physician, so it wouldn't be proper for me to be this sentimental. I mean, no one's here but us. I mean, we're like literally in a bunker. Like, I suppose this is my punishment, too. You can do it. Hmm? I think you can do this, Doctor. Spacey took some more wool and tools out of the bag. She clumsily moved the needles and handed them to me. Give me your hand, please. Oh my god, are we going to teach him to fucking knit? That's so cute. As she showed me how to hold the needles, our hands touched. Oh! They were warm. I've been trying my hardest not to touch that warmth again. The temperature of her skin and the reflection of her eyes threatened to drive me wild. Doctor? Huh? Put the thread through this hole. Like this? Yes, then hold it like this. Oh, so that's how it works. Am I doing it right? Yes, you are. See, Doctor? You can do it if you set your mind to it. Although she addressed me as Doctor, her tone was gentle, as if she were praising a child. Again, she laid her hand on mine. Oh, look at how precious he is. Oh, God. These CGs are going to kill me. She'd been trying to praise me, and her feelings were transmitted to me through her warm fingers. I've had to practice delicate tasks for a very long time, you see. Mainly creating ammunition and mixing poisons. I've been raised to perform all sorts of unsavory tasks. Look at the little cat in the background! I love it. They're all much easier than cooking. I suppose most doctors must be good with their hands. Yeah, maybe that's it. I felt terrible for lying, especially since I was posing as a lifesaver, when most of my life had been dedicated to taking lives. Can I have this when you finish making it? Of course. We'll have a matching pair. Right, thank you. Her expression didn't change much, but she seemed a little happier. You really haven't changed. Also, we're still gonna have a matching pair of cats again. So cute. Listen, Beetlebug, stop climbing on my fucking screen, okay? Freaking me out a little. Turn around, I'm like, what's on my own? No, it's just a little Beetlebug. She was still the Spacey I remembered. You haven't changed a bit. You've lost her memory. Don't you? Don't know. Oh. I think it's supposed to be, you've lost your memory. Don't know who you are and are being cared for by a complete stranger. You should be the most anxious in this situation, yet you're trying to comfort me. You've been very considerate today. Thank you. No, that's not quite right. Spacey shook her head, her gaze somewhat distant. She seemed slightly confused as she slowly continued. I wanted to know, when you saw something you liked, when you received it, when we made it together, I wanted to know what sort of expression you'd make. My heart cried out. I couldn't bear to be here any longer. I wish you'd hate me. But I had to stay firm. Even if I couldn't be the one to make her happy, I had to keep helping her, so that she could reclaim her future with her own hands. So that she could live again in the outside world. No matter what, until that day, I'll always be by her side. This hurts so bad. God, this route hurt so bad. When I was here, time seemed to pass more slowly. Of course, there was nothing for me to do, so I often ended up reminiscing about the past. I recalled my time with you, even though we couldn't be together right now. This belongs only to me. Even if they were accompanied by pain, the memories I had with her were my most precious treasures. And they were mine alone. Have I finally become someone irreplaceable? I was curious how Mikuni would react if he heard me wondering that now. It's not like I could ask him if I wanted to. I'd eliminated that possibility. His final words echoed in my mind. Oh. I'm assuming this is actually real, right? Okay, number 14. What had he been thinking? Why had he allowed a doll, what should have served him, to kill him? I didn't know. But that didn't make it acceptable. As a friend, not just as a subordinate, and as the man who killed Rei Mikuni, I had an obligation to understand him and to atone for my sins. I felt that this was Kageyuki Shiraishi's obligation as a human being. There was a commotion outside. Nothing like this had happened since I'd been detained here. Hey, is everything all right down there? Yeah, what's going on? If they're even coming down here to check, then it must be major. Masking my footsteps, I approached the door and eavesdropped. I mean, he's got, like, couches and a desk. I mean, he's got a swank-ass fucking prison cell, basically. Oh. Call just came in. One of the Adonis agents just broke out of prison. Akito, no! Stop! Just kidding. What? Are you serious? That's why I'm here to check on you. Uh-huh. He's been well-behaved so far. That sort of complacency to get you killed. Keep a close eye on him. It'll be your head on a pike if he escapes. Right, understood. Huh. Someone actually escaped. Japan was a country with few prisons. A prison break would have taken extraordinary effort, and it would only worsen one's crimes. Still, it might not be entirely in vain. Some risks were worth the reward. For example, perhaps someone needed to meet the escapee. I could certainly understand that desire. Spacey, I miss you. I'm lonely. I want to hear your voice, to feel your touch. But for now, I can only be patient. First, I had to become a proper, acceptable human being. God, this rot hurts so bad. We don't even get to, like, text him or talk to him. It's like April 8th, but the thing is, it's been a year. So everyone else, it's like April, but it'd be like, in everyone else's route, we're like, oh, it's April 2020, and this one, it's April 2021. Like, shit. As I got ready to go home and walked down a hallway, I passed by two men from a neighboring department. Good evening. They greeted me in reply, but didn't look me in the eyes. She's got some nerve coming back here. Quiet, she can hear you. Kageyuki... Oh. Are they actually saying that? Or like... Well, anyway. Kageyuki Shiraishi, suspect in Rei Mikuni's homicide, had been an Adonis mole in the police, and this woman was his associate. And now she's working in the police again. She must be insane. I'd heard many rumors of this sort. Okay. I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be them talking and they just didn't give them text boxes, or exactly what it was, like her remembering. I wish they'd say it to my face. Shiraishi would argue, and what they were saying wasn't exactly Shiraishi would agree, and what they were saying wasn't exactly hurtful. To this day, I didn't regret knowing Shiraishi. No, she loves him. I want this to either be Mukai or fuck it. It's probably Mukai. Because I was gonna always go to, it's Sakuragawa. But she would have been like, hey, shut the fuck up! Anyway, really? You're saying that where she can hear you? Way to treat a lady, boys. Crap. It was Sakuragawa. The one fucking time it was Sakuragawa. Every time. Every time I'm like, Sakuragawa. It's never fucking her until I'm like, it's probably not her. And then it's her. We did this in, oh my god. We did this in Yanagi's route too, the one time it was her. Fucking A. I was like, it's probably Inamoto. It's not her. Nope, it was her. God damn it. Hold on. Really? You're saying that where she can hear you? Way to treat a lady, boys. I just love being Sakuragawa. I don't know why. Crap! Sakuragawa! Oh. I saw Sakuragawa confronting the two men. She cut an imposing figure. I fucking love her. Because she can kick anyone's motherfucking ass. And she's just cute. Kotoho Sakuragawa, 28. Forensics, Shinjuku Station. I guess when you're a useless cop, this is what you do to kill time, eh? Let's go, man. Ugh. Jerks like that will always find a reason to put down a woman. If only they were half the cops they think they are. That's enough, Sakuragawa. If I were you, I'd give them a piece of my mind. Thank you. I appreciate it, really. It was no surprise that people were wary of me because of my intimate connection to an Adonis criminal. However, I still had friends like Sakuragawa on the force who treated me well. Good for her! Because if she didn't treat us right, it'd be like, what the fuck? We thought you were an awesome side character. She is an awesome side character. Damn right. I wanted to talk to you about something. Join me upstairs. Sakuragawa stood by the rooftop fence. I felt a light breeze caress my face. You hear about the prison break yet? Yes, it was one of the Adonis agents, like Shiraishi. I heard they still haven't tracked them down. People are still on edge about Adonis and our station, like those guys earlier. You'll probably hear more of that in the near future. Judging from how you handled it earlier, though, I think you'll be fine. You got a stiff upper lip. Not as stiff as yours. See? You can give it as good as you get. Got a lot of pent-up stress, so it's easy to vent it. I'm not part of your bashing coalition, but there's a lot I wish I could say. Shiraishi Bashing Coalition. The SBC is an anti-Kageyuki Shiraishi group whose members include Mukai, president, and Sakuragawa, VP. The protagonist was roped in, but once she realized her feelings for Shiraishi, she was asked to leave. Oh, she asked to leave, sorry. Mukai and Sakuragawa both want to support her decision, so the SBC is dissolved. However, since the group still needed to blow off some steam, they still often go out drinking. Well, why can't we go out drinking with them? That's the spirit. So want to go out for a drink tonight? Sounds nice. I'd like to see Mukai, too. It's been a while. She's been complaining that she hasn't gone a single day off since going back to HQ. She has to be prepared to cope with that. She hasn't gotten... Did she really say? She hasn't gone a single day off. Yeah, no, that's exactly... I read it exactly right, but after I read it, I was like, that doesn't sound right. It's not. I'm already used to it. All right, then. I'll give her a call. Not doing her voice the way I used to, but... Whatever. After we meet up with Mukai, we head to our usual pub. Eriko Mukai, 29. NRIPS police head. NRIPS. NRIPS. They say spring is the season of romantic encounters, so where's my share? Mukai had only taken one sip of sake, but her eyes had already begun to look crazed. Okay. I love them. I just love all, like this, I just love them, but I think Mukai might be my favorite, because she is fucking nutter butters. She gets so angry she's going to kill him. Like, I just love her. She is so unhinged. Opportunity doesn't just come to those who wait, you know. That's why we had that talk. What talk? We haven't told you yet, but we've made up our minds, Hoshino. Mukai leaned in conspiratorially, as if she was about to spill a big secret. Made up your minds? About what? I feel like everything she says is so dramatic, too. Actually, we decided to focus on getting married. What? Hey, Sakuragawa! Please don't steal my thunder like that. What's the point of dragging it out? Oh, come on. I wanted to surprise Hoshino. You ruined my plan. Oh, I'm plenty surprised. Why the rush, though? In a word, age. I haven't held a steady relationship, but I'm always more focused on work, so it always ends in a breakup. That's right. This isn't the time to be picky. This is an express train to dying alone. I just fucking love God. I just want to show all about her. Oh God, I don't know why she's my favorite. She's just the best. She's insane. Isn't that a little extreme? Oh, Hoshino, let's see what you think in 5 more years. Try coming home every night to nothing but another beer. The day could come when you even forget that you're a woman. But please don't say scary things like that. I'm sorry. I'm gonna die alone, and I have not forgotten that I'm a woman. On a monthly basis, I fucking remember. And in fact, there comes a point where you were like, oh, thank God, menopause is right around the corner, and it sounds like a great time. I'd like to forget I'm a woman sometimes. It's kind of a pain in the ass. Oh, but God. The express train to dying alone. Oh, God, what could be worse? It's fine, Mukai. You'll be fine, sweetie. I'll teach you all the ropes. Anyway. So that's why we've decided to face the issue head on. I see.
You don't look very convinced, Hoshino. We were gonna have you help us out after telling you.
Huh? How am I supposed to help you? Preferably, I'd have you set up a mixer, but you don't look like you do so well in that setting. If I ask some local friends, I think I can make it work. Oh my God, are we gonna set up Mukai and Sakuragawa with like... Okay, wait, hold on. Because Mukai can't have Shiraishi because we're with him. I think I would set Mukai up with Enomoto. Look, she could do well with Yanagi too, but Enomoto because she would fucking, like, she looks all nice and sweet, and Enomoto would probably try to, and she would break him. She would fucking dominate the fuck out of him, and it would just be amazing. Sasazuka and Sakuragawa could work because she would totally, like, he'd try to insult her and she'd, like, literally bitch slap the fuck out of him. Our girls need somebody they can, like, Yeah, no, I can't see. Oh, she could go with Yoshinari. They could both get along. They both have that quirky personality. That could work too. Huh, yeah. Yeah. Like, Sakuragawa wouldn't be able to handle Enomoto. Like, she would literally go insane, but Mukai could, like, whip him into shape, and he would just worship the ground. It'd be fucking funny. That dynamic would just be hilarious, too. Okay, I need side stories with our girls dating the boy. I just want to see how that would fucking play out. Just like a little thing where you're like, oh God, this is a train wreck. I need to see that train wreck. Anyway. Though, I don't know many people who I could ask.
If it comes down to it, we'll just have to consider wearing something that gets men talking.
Oh, good idea. If I could learn from Hoshino's modest yet refined style, it'd be unstoppable. Shouldn't you consult, I don't know, a fashion magazine about that? Show some cleavage, Mukai, Jesus. I actually have tried buying some magazines that I don't normally read. Mukai set down her food and cocktail glass, then reached into her purse and took out some magazines. She set them on the table. They were indeed girly covers featuring outfits that were completely unlike anything I'd ever seen Mukai wear.
We were thinking we could go shopping using these as a reference.
Yes, perhaps we can learn something from their charm. I just want to see Sakuragawa in a frilly-ass fucking dress. She'd be like, I don't like this. It doesn't feel like me. I feel like an imposter. Which ones do you think would look good on us, Hoshino? Let me see. I flipped through the pages. A one-piece dress worn by a slender model caught my eye. I think this lacy white one-piece might suit you well, Mukai. Oh my! I think it would really kick my femininity up a notch. I think you already look good in your current outfit, but changing from a pencil skirt to something more fluffy can make you look cuter. There is nothing wrong with pencil skirts. If you have an ass to pull them off, they look amazing. That's why I wear pencil skirts, because I have an ass. Like a giant ass. But it works. Anyway.
A flared skirt, huh? That sounds hard to pull off.
And now's the time to be courageous, Sakuragawa. Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
I don't usually wear skirts, whether at work or in private.
I think you'd look good in a mini skirt. You can match it with something more casual. Ah, to show off her long, beautiful legs. Well, that's another perk, I suppose.
Yeah, a shorter skirt might look better than a long one.
Don't you think this embroidery looks cute?
It certainly does look
cute. Right?
But I don't think it fits my style.
I know, we're putting fucking Sakuragawa in a dress! Oh, God. We'll have to try them on to know for sure. Let's all go shopping next time. Sounds great.
You're really motivated, Mukai.
You can't go hunting without a weapon, after all. We have to make sure to match our accessories, bags, and shoes, too. Hunting?
Mukai would actually be pretty attractive if she kept her mouth shut.
Sakuragawa! I can't let that slide! Mukai slapped the table, agitated. Our drinks sloshed around. It's almost as if you're saying that I'm unattractive when I'm talking. That's not what she meant. I know that you're easy to get along with once I got to know you, after all.
That works, too. Forensics is full of weirdos, though. And that's before we even get to Shiraishi.
Please don't let me together with the chief. I actually have some modicum of tact.
Yeah, but you both say whatever you please. You have that much in common.
Yeah, it's like you made a good combination in a strange way. See? Perfect. Shh, he's our boyfriend, though. You too, Hoshino. No, I'd never get along with that scumbag. Sakuragawa nibbled on fried chicken as she watched Mukai protest, stirred up by her sake. Somehow, she returned to her usual habit of complaining about Shiraishi. This feels awfully nostalgic.
You used to be a lot meaner about it.
Well, I've grown up. I know it must have been hard for you, Hoshino. I'm okay.
You sure you're not pushing yourself?
I feel blessed to have such good friends to talk to about Shiraishi. I think that if I had to keep it all to myself, it would be really difficult.
90% of it would be complaining anyway.
It's still better than keeping it pent up inside. Hoshino, you're so wholesome. So this is true love. I'm weak to such displays.
Mukai, slow down. It's still early.
I'm fine. Bring me another bottle of sake.
Good grief.
Sakuragawa stopped Mukai from ordering another bottle of liquor. I found myself smiling at the sight. I never thought that the Bashing Coalition would help me so much. I wouldn't have imagined it when I first joined. Whether I was at work or at home, I didn't have many chances to talk about Shiraishi. While these two had their various opinions of him, they were being considerate because I knew something had happened between us. It was likely because I told them that I loved Shiraishi. It feels odd to have two sympathizers who also happen to despise him. But see, those are good friends. They're like, we hate him, but you love him, so it's fine. We'll support you. Those are good friends. They're like, we'll support you, even though my personal opinion is that he sucks. But if you love him, I'm sure there's something redeemable about him. But I hate working with him. He's crazy. You know what I mean? Mukai was now thoroughly intoxicated, so Sakuragawa called for a cab. Why don't you let me take her home instead?
Sorry, it's still too early for you to shoulder that burden.
Surely it can't be that bad. I know that love is waiting for me. See? It's right over there.
Yeah, settle down.
As Mukai began walking off in some random direction, Sakuragawa pulled her back and shoved her into the taxi with a practiced motion.
See ya, Hoshino. Good night.
Good night. I would literally be the Mukai of a group. Love is waiting for me. It's right around the corner. Be that crazy person that everybody has to rein in. I'm going to die alone. I waved as the taxi drove off and began walking to a certain destination. Oh, God. Before Shiraishi, who loved cats, had shown me various spots where they liked to gather. One of them was particularly memorable. Number 1. There she is! I was happy to see the cat lazily napping on the edge of the street, as if it owned the place. That's right, I forgot we went to, Cat Central, and even Shiraishi had a hard time picking her up, so it's probably beyond me. As I approached, number 1 locked eyes with me. And he numbered them like he was numbered. That's so sad, though. It's like, you're like, oh, he just that's sad. He numbered them like he was numbered instead of giving them actual names. Aw. You look well, number 1. The cat purred as I pet her head. Shiraishi mentioned you in his last letter. He was wondering if you were all right, since you're a granny. Shiraishi worries about you, you know. Could you imagine the day we go and she's not there, and then oh, that would crush him. But it looks like he doesn't need to. I visited the other cats that Shiraishi had shown me before, and they all seemed healthy. Of course, they were stray cats, so there were some who I couldn't find. But I was still relieved to see that the things Shiraishi loved were intact. Speaking of which, number 13 doesn't show himself often. I was reminded of the time I'd become aware of my feelings for Shiraishi. When we'd visited the cat spots together, there had been an extremely friendly, adorable gray cat. She didn't run away when approached, so I tried to pick her up and cuddle her. She had looked up at me with the most adorable expression, and then even started licking my face near my mouth. Gross. Don't let a stray cat lick your mouth. Now you've done it, number 13. Shiraishi plucked number 13 from my hands and set her on the ground. We said he before. Well, just moments ago he'd been enjoying himself, but now he looked grim. What a well-behaved, adorable cat. She didn't squirm even when I picked her up. And number 13 is a tom. Oh, I see. I just assumed that he was a girl. Okay, that makes more sense, but...
And just now, he went straight for your lips. He's never done that with me.
Maybe he's moody.
No. Look, his tail is high. That's a display of affection.
Well, I'm glad he doesn't dislike me.
Why are you so happy? It's not a good thing at all. It means that number 13 has a thing for you.
He's jealous of a fucking cat. Oh, I love him. Oh, number 14, stop. What? I found it strange that Shiraishi was growing increasingly dour. Then I realized something. Shiraishi, you almost seem like you're jealous.
Jealous?
I thought that he would immediately deny it, but he seemed to think hard about the statement.
So this is
jealousy.
Am I jealous of number 13?
He's just a cat, and I was joking.
He almost kissed you. That's not a joke.
Kissed me? The conversation had become much more dramatic than I'd expected. Well, he's just a cat.
It doesn't matter. I think number 13 was pretty serious. And you are far too calm about this. How would you act the same way if it were me?
His gaze at the time seemed to pierce right through me, as if searching for an answer. Shiraishi always asked me lots of questions, but his tone is different this time. Shiraishi seems very serious, so I prepared to give him an equally serious answer. He'd suddenly ask me if I would be unmoved if he kissed me. Back then I can't imagine it. Kissing is something that lovers do. So, I can't imagine doing that with you, Shiraishi. And now we're like, damn it.
So you're okay with number 13, but not me.
Huh? No, that's not what I meant.
But you just said it was unimaginable.
I meant that I couldn't imagine kissing anyone who wasn't my lover. But if we were lovers... As the words left my mouth, I realized what I was saying and clamped it shut.
So you'd be fine with it if we were lovers.
I panicked and turned away, hiding my face. But Shiraishi didn't relent. I mean, it's Shiraishi. He does not understand. He doesn't get it.
I'm confident that I love you more than number 13 does, so how about it?
As soon as the shock of hearing love reached my brain, Shiraishi kissed me on the cheek. I was at a loss for words. My shoulders trembled from the touch of his breath on my skin. Oh no, I can't believe it. What should I do now? I had no idea what to do in this situation. If this had been someone I didn't care for, I might have reacted with revulsion. But with Shiraishi, it felt like my body was on fire. That didn't feel like a greeting. Besides, he said that he loves me. He said he loves you more than number 13 does. That doesn't mean anything. But he was comparing himself to the cat, so maybe that wasn't how he meant it. She's like, ugh! And his face is so beautiful.
See? It's totally different than number 13.
Well, of course it would be. Number 13 is a cat, but you're a person. The person that I loved.
Yes, I'm glad that you enjoy me more than number 13.
Are you satisfied then?
No, I have new questions.
Oh, I have a bad feeling about this. I'd had enough of Shiraishi's terrifying questions. Look, enough is enough. I also hate that his whole route is going to be like flashbacks to like prior thing and not... Oh, it's going to kill me if we don't get to be with him.
If you reacted like that from a peck on the cheek, I wonder what would happen if I kissed you on the lips.
The cheek had almost given me a heart attack, so my mouth was clearly out of the question. Now wait a second! You've skipped a fundamental step, Shiraishi. This isn't something you should do lightly.
Did you hate it that much?
What? No, I didn't hate it. But people who don't hate each other don't normally just kiss. Shiraishi backed away a step and his shoulders drooped.
All right. I don't want you to hate me, so I'll stop.
Shiraishi plainly wanted to investigate further, but he gave in, uncharacteristically.
Oh, but don't do this with anyone else, okay? No cats or other animals either.
I can't promise you I won't kiss any people, but I can promise you I won't kiss any people, but Animals too?
Yeah, because it frustrates me.
All right. He hadn't seemed as shaken as me, so I thought that kisses didn't matter to Shiraishi. It frustrates him? Huh. I recalled his jealous reaction and glanced back at him. What if it turns out that we feel the same way about each other? I imagined what would come next and started panicking anew. I'd intended to reminisce about number 13, but my thoughts had drifted to a memory of Shiraishi instead. Our first date left that strong of an impression on me. I mean, it should! Unless you're not interested in the person, but when you love someone, your first date is always going to leave a great impression. I'd grown into the habit of watching the cats and playing with them, much as Shiraishi had done on that day. I've heard that people with similar interests tend to fall in love. Maybe that's true. Are we just as crazy as he is? I don't think so, but I am. But she's not. I'd look for number 13 another time. I'll have to be careful not to let him kiss me, or else Shiraishi will pout. I chuckled at the thought, then said goodbye to number 1 and started on my way. I'll make sure to mention number 1 in my next letter. I hope Shiraishi will be happy. With that in mind, I walked for a while, when I realized there were footsteps behind me. At first I thought it was just someone else headed in the same direction, but they took the same turns I did and didn't change direction. I stopped in my tracks and looked around. There's nobody here? Someone's following us. Oh god, it's whoever broke out. Perhaps I'd been overthinking it. I started walking again, but I knew it. I'm being followed. If it was someone I knew, they would have said something by now. My pursuer might be some predator who targeted women. I'll run to the park first and see how they react. If they were really following me, then they would need to explain. I was scared that I didn't know what the other person intended, but I knew I had to act. And now, the thing is like, that's when you run to the detective. You're not gonna help me! And then he's not there, and then you're fucked. As I made up my mind and started running, the other person followed, as I expected. I sprinted to the... Wow, takes a long time. Park at full speed, then took cover. Soon I'd catch sight of whoever had been following me. I watched the entrance to the park with bated breath. Then I sensed someone behind me. That's fucking Enomoto. I quickly spun around and got a look at my foe. I was like, you could tell by the shadow, I'm like, it's fucking Enomoto. Oh, it's you, Hoshino. What are you doing here? Enomoto? What's wrong? You look scary. Sorry, someone was following me, so... I explained the situation while keeping an eye on the entrance. Enomoto agreed to help me. I was like, he was definitely not following us because he would have said something. I mean, he's sometimes an idiot, but he's not that stupid. I didn't show up. Maybe they realized that I caught on to them and ran away. I don't think they'd give up after following you this far. I think it'd still be nearby. We should check around just in case. Enomoto and I surveilled the area around the park, but didn't spot anyone suspicious. Maybe it was some pervert or a prankster. I mean, you're safe now, at least. Yes, thank you. Still, what kind of coward targets a lone woman? If I spot the bastard, I'll give him a good beating. What kind of coward targets a lone woman? I think you just answered your own question. Oh, lone woman, easy prey. Same, lone person is easy prey. What kind of person targets a kid? A fucked up one. You know? Someone else might be targeted too. I'll put in a request to increase patrols of this area. Good thinking. You got it rough. There's a lot of weirdos around here now that spring is coming. Be careful. I will. Speaking of which, I know we just ran into each other, but what are you doing out here? Nothing, I wasn't following you. He's wearing his eye patch again. I'm gathering some intel for a job. Actually, you should see this. Enomoto took a photo out of his pocket and showed it to me. This is who I'm looking for. Her name is Bunny. The picture showed a chihuahua with its tongue hanging out. So cute! Who names a dog after another animal, though? Who names a dog after a person? Bunny is better than, like, naming her Bonnie. Like, no offense, that's a person name, not a dog name, so. You'd think that, right? First time I met the client, I had to hold myself back from cracking a joke. Anyway, that's the job I'm on. I better find her soon so that the client can relax. Enomoto was working at Yanagi's now active private detective agency and was often busy running around the town. So, like, in certain other routes, I know in his route he went back to the police, but I thought, oh, in Yanagi's route he went back to the police, too. And I think in Sasazuka's, he stayed with Yanagi, and I don't remember in Okazaki's, but I guess it makes sense, because otherwise, if you're dating Enomoto and he still works with Yanagi, then he'd be living with Yanagi, and that'd be weird. And you'd be like, hanging out! Have sex with my boyfriend while you're... And Yanagi'd be like, what the fuck? And vice versa, when you're dating Yanagi, it'd be weird to have Enomoto around all the time, so... Kind of makes sense that they'd, like, just push him out. They always saw their requests through to the very end, so I'd heard some good positive about them. Okay. Unfortunately, I don't recognize the dog, but I'll let you know if I see her. Thanks. Client lives nearby, so I asked Takeru if he's seen anything. When he just shot back, who cares, moron? Hung up on me. So cruel. Cybercrime seems really busy right now. He told me before that he hasn't even had time to eat a donut since returning to HQ. That has to be a lie. I can't imagine that guy holding back from doing whatever he wants. That's true. And also eating donuts is the only fuel he has. When he had been investigating the X-Day cases, Sasuzuka was rarely seen without a donut. I'd been jealous more than once of his constitution that allowed for such a poor diet without gaining any weight. Right? I gained weight just talking about it. Speaking of donuts, got a craving for some now. Want to go buy some together? Huh? Aren't you gonna eat dinner first? I always have room for dessert. Enomoto chortled at my witty reply. Alright then, let's stop by the office too. Are you sure? Yanagi doesn't like sweets, and I don't want to eat them all by myself. I'll take you up on that offer then. Nice. Boy, if you weren't attached, I bet this would be the start of a beautiful romance. Oh, Enomoto, we've already dated you, no offense. I'm sure your day will come soon enough, Enomoto. Oh, by the way, I have two friends, Sakuragawa or Mukai. Take one. Take Mukai. She's gonna break you, but it'll probably be good. Oof! So kind, but so cruel! I consoled Enomoto as he shed mock tears. We stopped by a convenience store and picked out some donuts, then headed to the detective office. Yanagi, we're back. I brought Hoshino too. Pardon the intrusion. Hoshino. Yanagi looked up in surprise. He appeared to have been reading something on the sofa. I was actually about to contact you. You saved me the trouble. What happened? Take a look at this, both of you. Yanagi thrust a paper at me. It appeared to be a letter. Oh! Oh! The letters are in red. How creepy. At first I thought it was supposed to be from Shiraishi, and then I was like, because I saw Shiraishi's name at the bottom, and then like, the plan to revive, and I'm like, Shiraishi would not write this. And I kind of read it. Well, wait, could this be... I was struck by an uneasy premonition and anxiously accepted the letter. The text read... I mean, we can read it plainly, but... The plan to revive tainted Japan has collapsed with the loss of Zero. However, Adonis's ideals will never die. Once again, the countdown to X-Day shall begin. However, this time there's room for negotiation. If you wish to stop the countdown, release my comrade Kageyuki Shiraishi. He's indispensable to our cause. As long as these conditions remain unmet, the countdown will proceed. Anyone who stands in our way is a target. You who have spurned the kindness of Adonis will be no exception this time. Adonis? I had thought that we'd finally achieved peace after so many sacrifices. Well, it was the person who escaped, obviously. But they're back. My hands gripped the letter tightly. Does this mean that Adonis has recovered? We can't determine that from this letter alone. But the text, contents, and the way this letter were delivered here without being mailed can't be a coincidence. Yeah, it's like that time someone planted a letter here after they put the collar on Hoshino. Yeah, only Adonis knew he was working here in the building at the time. Did they move or take anything else? I did a check, but it looks like all they did was leave this letter. And the door and windows were still locked and show no signs of being forced. Last time, Shiraishi left the letter here on Zero's orders. Yanagi nodded. I think it's reasonable to assume that whoever did this knows how the last incident played out. They also said that you'll be no exception this time, which means that they knew what was in the last letter. At the very least, this is unlikely to be a prank. And the message suggests that they might make contact with us soon. Wait, maybe that was... Enomoto and I appeared to be thinking the same thing. Yanagi frowned as he noticed us looking at each other. Any ideas? Yes, actually... When I told Yanagi how I thought someone had been following me, he looked grim. We could have stopped there, but this is still the same part. Yeah. And we don't know if the person that targeted you is related to Adonis, but anyone in this room might now could be a target. In this room right now, yeah, wow. They also said their goal was Shiraishi, their comrade. And that means that this is likely the work of the Adonis agent who escaped prison today. Yeah, and that's the most obvious conclusion given the timing. But isn't it a little weird that they're calling for Shiraishi's release? I think so too. Shiraishi isn't a part of Adonis anymore. According to this letter, they don't seem to agree. Many other agents have been captured. Any one of them could have named Shiraishi. Well, they said that he's indispensable. Does that mean he's in an important position? When we faced off against Zero last time, he called Shiraishi a loyal pawn. He didn't seem to consider him very important. Zero had been using Shiraishi to test my resolve to pull the trigger when faced with evil. I'd never forget the way that he had devalued Shiraishi's life, as if he were disposable. And that's why we can't love you, Saeki. Because you wanted us to kill our precious cat boy. We're not going to do that. We'll kill all of our other friends, but not... I mean... that bad ending. That's the one that sticks with me. If they want Shiraishi to be released, then why don't they send this directly to the police? He's currently in police custody and helping them with cases, right? Before, Adonis said that I'd be killed if the police found out about the collar. This time, they don't have the same advantage over us. I just can't figure out what their angle is. Even if we don't know their true goal, they could still be planning a major operation with the agents that haven't been captured. I think we should consider the last line to mean that they've decided to neutralize us. We should be cautious. Yeah, man. The fact that they snuck in here is a threat in itself. I'm gonna report this up the chain. Hey, are you okay? Huh? Well, you're the one who's probably the most affected by all this. It's about Shiraishi, after all. You both suffered so much to crush Adonis, and now they're coming at you again. Yanagi also looked at me, his expression mirroring Enomoto's sympathy. I avoided looking into their eyes as I described how I felt right now. To be honest, I'm nervous too. I don't know what's going to happen next. But we all faced Adonis together, so I won't run away this time either. Damn, Hoshino, you know how to pick your fights. Alright, let's dig into those donuts. Enomoto took out the bag of fresh donuts and bit into them with vigor, as if to drive off the dark mood. Yanagi smiled watching him. You don't sound like you're bluffing. I'm glad. Yeah, I'll be fine. I won't let a tragedy like that happen again. If the escaped prisoner wanted to revive Adonis, we didn't know what means they might use. But my ordeals have given me the strength to stand up to this threat. No matter what happened, I'd face the challenge. It was the right thing to do. Chapter 2! See, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking that was going to be the end of Chapter 1, so perfect timing. So I'm going to wrap this here, and we will continue with Chapter 2. We'll start Chapter 2 in the next part, so I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up, and subscribe to see more!